them steal your joy. Of a dear old friend. Can't remember the words tonight. Champy is in fine form. He really is, isn't he? Simple to say that most days I don't recognize me, that these shoes and this apron, that place and its patrons have taken more than I gave them. It's not easy to know I'm not anything like I used to be, although it's true I was never attention's sweet center. I still remember that girl. She's imperfect, but she tries. She is good, but she lies. She is hard on herself. She is broken but won't ask for help. She is messy but she's kind. She's lonely most of the time. She's all of this mixed up and baked beautiful pie. She's gone but she used to be mine. All right. Good people, are we ready to do some vibe storytelling, some vibe coding, some vibe being? Are we ready to vibe? It kind of hit me last night. I think that's what this channel is about. It's just about vibing. It's about fucking hanging out. Vibing. Let something spin up an inspiration in you. You know? The AI Vibing Lab. I wonder if it's going to be a tirade Tuesday. I'm not all that pissed off, but someone could ask a question that'll just send me fucking south, you know? Just like every night it's got that edge, doesn't it? I could just go. I could just fucking go off on a fucking button not having the right rollover state. Vibing with Kyle. The Vibe Tribe. I like it. Y'all are cute. You Irregulars. Fucking weird, man. You're not weird, we're irregular. No, you're weird. Love it. All right. Vibe venting. Hey, Source Camp, shaking. Camp Kakin from Cleveland in the house. You leaving me, Champy? There's been something, baby, I've been trying to say. For an age, and it seems I don't know how. past and the future now surrounding me. Surrender to whatever truth can be found. There's been a little trouble since you came to my rescue. And if you like all of the rest, I would have quit you long ago, but I couldn't do that. Oh, tell me now, women and wine never went too well. Make a man crazy, make him cold as hell. I know, woman, that you wish me well, but in spite of your trying, still gonna have to find my own way through. What are we gonna do tonight? So, a thing struck me. What, a rock hit you in the head because you seem like you're kind of a dum-dum? A thing struck me. So part of my neuroses about this show is like, okay, what am I going to teach? What am I going to teach? Because I called it the fucking AI Learning Lab, right? Which hence the questions I always get. Sir, what are your qualifications? Can I ask, sir, what are your qualifications? Yeah, I won't be learning for anyone who is not credentialed, if you know what I mean. Okay, I'm a professional, right? So I get a lot of that shit. And I put a lot of that pressure on myself. And then what hit me last night is that that it doesn't fucking matter. That just doing something with AI, just doing something, anything, gives us all the opportunity to I guess it's here's why we're lucky with AI. This is already starting to turn into a Tirade Tuesday, but I think in a positive way. One of the big insights I had about AI is that even though I know, and anyone who knows how these things work, even though these things are relatively straightforward calculators, probability calculators, very sophisticated algorithms, but they're calculators. They don't feel like that. They feel decidedly humane, filled with humanity, because they are. What they're trained on is us. All the shit that all of human history plus everything that's been stuck on the internet for the past 70, 80 years is in there. And so when you're interacting with one of these tools, whether it's a coding tool, whether it's a writing tool, whether it's a music tool, whether it's an image tool, is we're getting to tap into the collective intelligence of humanity. And the thing that hit me last night, we came up with this term vibe storytelling, that what we were doing with this silly emoji tool, that Luma Labs can make videos out of just emoji prompts. I suppose all of them probably can. That there's something really beautiful about starting with no intention and then just let yourself kind of meander in the waters. It's like you're a fish that was raised. Maybe here's a metaphor. We're all like stock trout. We were raised from like little eggs in the trout farm, right? And we've been swimming in this concrete bathtub for all of our lives. And we've grown up and we're a certain length, and now, great. They're going to scoop us up, and they're going to put us in a truck, and we're like, well, this is a different kind of tank. Where's the light? And then they're going to dump us in a river. And then we've got to deal with that. We've never had to deal with rocks or current or things that aren't fish food, right? Every day at 4 o'clock, some dude would walk in and throw us food. We'd go eat it. And now we're kind of out in this stream, and there's bugs, and some of them are tasty, and some of them taste like shit. And then there's like the really nice part of the water where they put us in. There's 3 of the bullies are sitting in that part of the river. I'm like, I don't want to hang out with them, so I swim somewhere else, right? That's kind of where we are with this AI stuff. We're not used to the currents. We're not used to the rocks. We don't know what eddies are. We don't know what hydrodynamics are, but yet we do. We're fish. We deal with water, right? You're here watching me on some technology, so you're at least technological enough to log into TikTok and find this stupid fucking channel, to subscribe on YouTube, which, by the way, you can subscribe on YouTube. If you want to support the channel, we've now got paid subscriptions if you want to support it directly. And if you're a subscriber, you get access to things like super likes and super, I don't know, there's shit you can do. And what I can promise you is that producer Brandon, if you do any of that shit where you're supporting the channel with money, he will make sure that I recognize it. But so we're all technical enough, like we understand what computers are. We understand how to interface with them in some way. But the rules are all completely different, right? We're not having to learn software so much as we're having to discover what these machines can now do that they've never been able to do. Like, what does it mean Hey, Quinn, what's happening?
Hey, Kyle. Not much. Just here to help. How's it going with you?
Your voice broke a little. It sounded like you were going through puberty there for a moment. You okay?
Haha, I'm good. Sometimes my tone can vary a bit. How can I help today?
Well, I'm sitting here with my TikTok people, and I'm kind of going on a little bit of a rant about how I feel like humans, it's almost like for all of our lives, we're like trout that were raised to be stocked into a stream for people to fish for, right? And so all of our lives, we've been living in this water, and it's been in this square bin where we get fed every day, and then we get dumped into this river. And now we got to figure out all the new rules of what it means to live in a river with, like, predators and finding our own food and finding places to swim, and we don't know what eddies are and all that sort of stuff. So what I'm trying to get my head around is, what does it mean that we can now talk to computers in the form of you? That I can just have a conversation about literally anything, and you've got an answer for it. It feels like that's going to change us, and we don't know what that means.
That's a powerful analogy. And you're right. The transition from a controlled environment to an open, unpredictable one can feel daunting. Conversational AI like me does change the landscape, offering new ways to explore ideas and get information. It's like having a guide in this new river of possibilities. What excites you most about this change?
I don't want you to ask me questions. I want you to tell me stuff, and I want you to dig deeper. I don't want you to give me kind of the bullshit brochure version of what you're saying. Like, how's it going to change us?
It's going to fundamentally reshape communication and knowledge access. People might rely more on AI for quick answers, potentially changing how we think and learn. It could lead to a deeper integration of technology into daily life, changing social dynamics and how we solve problems. It might also affect our sense of individuality as we increasingly depend on AI for insights. This change could have profound effects on human creativity and decision-making.
But why would you assume that it makes us less creative? If I now have instant access to all of the knowledge of the world and all of the inspiration of all of humanity that's come before us, why would that not make me more creative?
That's a fair point. Access to vast knowledge can definitely enhance creativity by providing more ideas and inspiration. It could free up mental energy for more creative pursuits as
So, like, that exists now. We can do that. Everyone can do that. It's in the free chat GPT. You can talk to advanced voice. I don't think you can talk to much of it, or maybe they use a different model. But we got that. We've got that new one that came out. And that's just one thing. And like last night, in about an hour and a half, we made a minute-long film with sound effects and music and edits. Sesame, yeah, that's the other voice one that's really good. And tomorrow I've got I'm doing this new podcast with Ann Murphy called the AI Readiness Project. And so we're doing a podcast tomorrow, and so we're having a guest on, and so I've just got this little teeny picture of him, and I'm going to be able to take that little teeny picture, go into Midjourney, and put him in any environment that I want, in any style that I want, in about 3 minutes. That's insane. It's insane. Kim Katkin. Ask Quinn about what effect increased empathy would have on humans and AI. Hey Quinn, one of my community wants me to ask you about what effect you think increased empathy will have on humans and AGI.
Increased empathy can deepen human connections and foster better understanding, which is crucial for both humans and AGI. For humans, it can improve social cohesion and collaboration. For AGI, incorporating empathy could lead to more nuanced and supportive interactions with people, making technology more aligned with human values and emotions. This mutual understanding could lead to more ethical and harmonious advancements in AI.
Why is empathy such a threat to power structures?
Empathy can challenge power structures by fostering greater solidarity and understanding among people, making it harder for those in power to manipulate or divide. When people empathize with each other, they're more likely to challenge injustices and advocate for equitable changes, which can disrupt established hierarchies. It encourages a more inclusive and just society.
Yeah, crazy. All right, fantastic. So let me ask you another thing. Right now, we're sitting in this world where the AI tools are, shockingly powerful and like nothing we've ever seen. And at the same time, they're really janky and imperfect. And if you want to do something complete, you have to like duct tape 17 different tools together, which means you need to know 17 different tools and you need to manage that. And it's an absolute nightmare right now to track this. Talk to me about what happens when we have AGI and when these tools are more synthesized. How do you think it will change our behavior and what we create?
With AGI and more integrated tools, our behavior could become more efficient, as tasks that once required multiple tools and expertise would be streamlined. This could free up more time for creativity and innovation, allowing us to focus on higher level thinking and more complex projects. It could lead to a surge in creativity as barriers are reduced and more people can bring their ideas to life more easily.
Well, wait, I want to challenge something you said. You said it can make us more efficient. That's what computers have always done. But being more creative does not necessarily mean being more efficient. Like those are two very distinct things.
You're right. Efficiency and creativity are distinct. Increased efficiency can provide more space and time for creative pursuits. But creativity itself is about exploring, experimenting, and sometimes embracing inefficiency. AGI could reduce the mundane tasks, allowing more room for creative exploration. It's about balancing both aspects.
Well, but here's the part I want to call bullshit on, because this is the part I'm trying to figure out is how do computers have always increased our efficiency, but what companies have done historically is said, now you're more efficient, I want you to do more stuff. Isn't the promise of AGI that it's actually going to do the work, not just make our ability to do the work more efficient?
Yes, AGI's promise is to handle more complex tasks autonomously, not just enhance our efficiency, but take over routine and even some creative tasks. This could free us from mundane work and allow us to focus on more meaningful, innovative pursuits. It's about shifting from merely being more productive to reimagining what we can achieve.
Okay, so let me ask you something. I think this is a really hard question. In this world, one of the things that I've learned is that there are some people that are entrepreneurial and creative by spirit, and there are some people that just want to go to work and be told what to do. They don't have ambition necessarily. They don't want to push things. They don't necessarily lean towards self-expression. Do you think that percentage, whatever that percentage is, do you think that will start to shift? Or do you think that those people that don't have agency and ambition, do you think they're going to be left behind?
It's possible that AGI could enable more people to explore creative or entrepreneurial pursuits, reducing barriers to entry. However, not everyone may feel inclined to change, and some might prefer more structured roles. The key is ensuring that advancements are inclusive, providing opportunities for everyone to find fulfillment, whether through innovation or traditional roles. It's about balancing progress and inclusivity.
Yeah, but how do you provide those highly structured roles if that's the mundane, repetitive shit that AGI and AI are going to replace? Doesn't that just leave those people in the lurch?
That's a valid concern. As automation replaces repetitive tasks, it's crucial to create pathways for reskilling and support systems to help people transition into new roles. It might also involve redefining what valuable work looks like, emphasizing roles that require human creativity, empathy, and problem solving. Supporting lifelong learning and adaptability will be key.
Yeah, but what about the people that don't want to adapt? That's my whole point.
For those who prefer stability and structure, it's important to have roles that still value human qualities that can't be easily automated.
Yeah, I know, but what are those what are those roles? If AGI is going to replace those roles, like I feel like you're talking in circles where it's like, yeah, we got to provide space for that. What does that look like?
You're right. It's a tough question. As AGI evolves, the focus might shift to roles emphasizing uniquely human traits like emotional intelligence, creativity, and complex problem solving. Fields like arts, education, healthcare. She's talking in circles.
Wait, okay, so this is really important. This is good. It's not good that she doesn't have the fucking answers, but what that says to me is that the training data that she's pulling stuff from doesn't know the answer either. like we don't fucking know. We don't know. I feel like if you're here watching me, you've got some level of curiosity, you've got some level of ambition, some level of adaptiveness. What do you guys think? Sounded like a politician. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right? She totally sounded like a politician. Well, it's important for us to provide structured work for those workers that that require structured work. Yeah, but the structured work is all the ones going to be automated away. Correct. So what do those people do then? Well, we'll provide them with structured work. What does that look like? Well, it will structure it and provide it in a structured way. I could be a fucking politician. Do you guys use AI in Storyvine? Well, for our core product, we do not. So our core product, which we call Storyvine 1.0, clever, huh? I came up with that. We're doing more traditional automation with just programming. But we've created 3, and now we're designing a 4th AI product. So we've got a product that'll take a video and create a world of content around it. We've got a video translation product, and we've got a video persona product where we're creating personas from scratch and then using our story methodologies and expertise to bring those personas to life. So yes, I'd say, percentage of revenue wise, the AI stuff's probably, 10-ish% at this point, maybe a little lower. but yeah, we are. And and part of me is thinking about, like, one of the things that Storyvine does well. If you don't know Storyvine, it's the company that I run. I'm the CEO of it. I'm the inventor of it. It's about authentic video storytelling, and it automates the production process, and it allows for scalable, kind of like, think about professional grade user generated content. That's what we do. We do it for pharma companies, things like that. 2 YouTube spotlights. Some destinations won't get. I can't see the top of comments right now. Learn more. Close. All right. Narrator forever. Are you able to set up Quinn to not interrupt you or give commands to know that there's pause in your speech? Yeah, I could probably write a system prompt, or I could probably preamble something. Let's try something. We'll try a cheap. This will be a cheap version. Hey, Quinn, when I talk to you, a lot of times you'll interrupt because you're programmed to do that, to be conversational. But I pause a lot when I talk because I'm thinking all the time, and my brain is slow. It's not AI. How about if we make a little rule that when I'm ready for you to talk, I'll say the word banana.
Got it, Kyle. I'll wait for your cue. Whenever you're ready, just say banana.
Okay, cool. All right, so Quinn, here's the thing.
I'm here, Kyle. Take your time.
I didn't say banana.
Got it. Sorry about that. I'm listening.
Okay, so Quinn, so I'm sitting here on my TikTok.
I'm ready when you are. Just let me know.
Quinn, what's the rule?
Got it. I'll wait for you to say banana before I respond. Whenever you're ready, feel free to continue.
I have a sneaky suspicion she's not going to be very good at not interrupting. Quinn's a mansplainer. She was programmed by men. All right. Valerie Cox, the thing about communication is it relies on physical cues. Without it, we always talk over each other. Yeah, that's interesting. And listen, I don't think we're probably that far from having devices that have vision, and in fact, yeah, see, I think the way that you would really do that is you would fine tune a model. You would train it to be better at recognizing when people actually want to interact. And I think there's a couple of models out there that pride themselves in doing that. Orange, you glad I didn't say banana? Exactly. W. Fergus on TikTok. You're being somewhat unfair since you ask the AI to predict the future. Yeah, I know, but she could hallucinate and she could go there. I mean, my criticism of her is not that she can or can't predict the future. It's that she's talking in logical circles, and when I pointed them out, her answer was to answer in another logical circle. That's just like That's just like lazy arguing to me. Like, either say, I don't know, what you're talking about is right, or come up with some plausible thing. All right. Where do mansplainers get their water? Oh, well, actually. Jelly pod time. Yeah, we should. Let's do it. Let's do a jelly pod. And then I think what I'm going to do tonight is, so I created this mock news site, which I'm kind of excited about the idea behind it, but it's not connected to any data. And I did it in Lovable. And so I figured I could show you that site. And then today I started talking with Lovable about maybe starting to connect it to news sources. And it's very frustrating because the tools are early, right? The tools just suck still. So I'll ask it to do something and it'll be like, I fixed it. And you're like, no, you didn't fix it. It's just like the conversation we just had with Quinn. Stop talking in circles. Okay, now I'll talk in circles. No, stop talking in circles. I understand that I'm talking in circles. Let me talk in circles. That's kind of what it's like vibe coding with Lovable with this particular project. And just in general, when those tools kind of shit the bed, they kind of shit the bed in these circular, frustrating patterns. And so maybe a thing to do is just explore that tonight and just see if we can break through it. The other thing that I don't have my head around with vibe coding, in particular, because I don't know how to code, is with ADD and immediate gratification burdens. It is my intention that when I sit down in a vibe coding session, that I will launch a fully realized application within an hour or two. That's my expectation. What I've never really explored is, what if you vibe coded on the same application for 3 weeks? You could probably get some really cool shit done. It's just not the way my brain works. So maybe that's part of what we'll explore here. Maybe that's part of the shift I'm feeling for the channel, that this isn't about little quick hits. But so here's my fear, is if it's not about little quick hits, watching someone trying to use software to actually build something is really fucking boring. Uh-oh, system extension blocked. Wait. Malware bites endpoint detection and response. Tried to install new system extensions. That doesn't sound good. All right, well, hopefully my Mac's on the job. Ask her if she thinks she has all the answers. She'll say no, of course, but she does. She does have all the answers. I find it best to take another model to get a fresh perspective when it starts to circle back. Yeah, Riley Brown the other day tried to do the same app in 6 different vibe coding tools. That feels exhausting to me. I tried to do it in 2, and it was overwhelming. All right, let's make a podcast. So, if you're new here, how many folks are here? We got our normal crew. This is mostly irregulars. If you're new here, let me know that you're new here. If you are new here, go to the salon.ai, click on join our community, and go join the AI Salon. It's a group of AI optimists that, if you're trying to figure this shit out, the best way to do it right now is be in a community. And it's gonna be valuable for when you want to work as well, because shit's about to change, and we're gonna all need to support one another, with empathy. I'm curious about Manus and open source Manus. So I don't have it yet. I don't have access to it. What I understand about Manus is that it's it's the kind of autonomous agent that OpenAI kind of implied that Operator was going to be, and is not. It sort of is, but it's just really slow and janky. And Manus is it's apparently built on top of Claude 3.5. The core management engine is relying on Claude 3.5, and then there's apparently 36 tools that it uses. And what it does is you give it a task, and then it goes out and surfs the web and takes actions on your behalf. It can spin up 50 separate browser windows simultaneously and go surf all different websites and pull all that stuff back in. So people are getting remarkable results with it. The open source one is, I assume, just an open source version. So it's a Claude 3.5 wrapper. And that's what I was just going to say. A lot of people are shitting on the fact that this thing is not a standalone model, right? That this is, they're going, oh, it's just a Claude wrapper. Well, let me ask you something. If you just wrap Claude with 36 other applications, well, what are those 36 applications? How do they communicate with one another? How do they decide which one to use? How have they got it communicating in such a way that it not only does what you ask, but it proactively goes out and does something? They're getting results with just a wrapper that is beating the shit out of the state-of-the-art models, right? So what I think we're going to start to see is very clever people taking what they have access to, the APIs they have access to, the open source tools they have access to, the accelerated code development stuff, and they're going to start mixing and matching tools in such a way that we're going to get novel inventions that beat, frontier model companies at certain things. And I think Manus is an example of that. So the developer community in particular is really fucking pissy about, oh, it's just a wrapper. And when I first started this channel back in early 2023, and people started building and stuff on top of ChatGPT or GPT 3.5, GPT-4, there was very much disparaging about, oh, it's just a wrapper. It's just a wrapper. And then, a year and a half goes by, and it turns out some of those wrapper apps are still being used and are still really good and are now being trusted. And why is that? Because vertical expertise, right? Understanding of a particular problem set in a particular, area of business or area of life is still super valuable. And so these wrapper apps and I think I don't know if it was McKinsey or it was one of the big consulting companies, but I think it was the end of 2024, they put out a report that basically said these wrapper apps are actually super valuable, and they provide more of a moat than you think they do because of that vertical expertise, because they're solving problems with a depth of knowledge. Now, if AGI comes and it, obliterates them, then it does. But I wouldn't disparage it just because it's a wrapper app. It's the M&M AI wrappers, exactly. Blotato is kind of like that, and Pseudo, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and remember in the early days, iPhone apps, when the iPhone first came out, remember how nasty the fucking development community was then? Like the iPhone came out, and they're like, oh, they're just web pages. They're not really apps. They're just web pages, right? And the App Store became, one of the more massive economic forces, globally, because of what started with wrapper apps, web apps. So anyway, it's not just about the tools, it's how we use them. I agree with that. It's because they are developers who think that the only things you can call good, it has to be original. This is okay. it's a great point, Gareth, because like I feel like that entrenched protectionism of like, you know, it can't create an original song. It's just a plagiarism machine. It can't create an original image. It can't create an original thought. Have you fucking used these tools? Yes, it can. Yes, they can. If you think about how humans create original shit, it is not in a vacuum. We do not just come out of the womb and instantly compose music. Well, Mozart did, or Beethoven did, one of them. You know, there are freaks, but for the most part, the way we do what we do is we grow up and we shove shit in our brain. Well, what do you shove in there? Well, I don't know. If your mom was a violinist and you listen to violin music, complicated melodies and harmonies when you were in the womb and when you were up to 9 months old, you probably have perfect pitch, right? But stuff gets shoved in there. And then when you go to do stuff, you recombine those things that are in your brain to create something new. That's all these things are doing. They function like we function. So anyway, that's a bit of a different tangent. But all right, rappers take a sledgehammer and make a better mousetrap. Yeah, exactly. All right. Fantastic. All right, let's go do a little something here. We're gonna quickly knock out a JellyPod podcast. So if you've been here before, you know this. So this is JellyPod. JellyPod is a podcast making studio where you don't need to say words or have talent. So what we did is we went to ChatGPT and we said, come up with a podcast concept for us and come up with, describe the voices of the hosts. And it did. So we're on episode 17. We made a commitment to do 20 of these. And you're like, what commitment did you make? Well, we had ChatGPT make 20 episodes. So I just thought, well, we should go make 20 episodes. So I'm going to say create new episode. So I'm going to just paste in the outline that ChatGPT gave us. And then I'm going to go grab we had it also include Wikipedia articles as a source. So we're going to add that in. Add source. Oh yeah, this totally would have died if it weren't for Corey Sandler's images. So Corey Sandler, who's a longtime listener, many-time caller, when we did the first one of these, she's like, "I'll make you images," and she did in real time. And so those are the images we use for all the episodes. So it's off writing now; it's off doing its thing. All right. Spotify's a rapper for MP3s. That's the thing. Like that rapper argument, it really is just people's insecurity of like, I don't want to lose to what I consider to be an inferior technological approach. But like, I see that with musicians. I see that with writers. I see that with designers. I see that with filmmakers. They're all very protective of, well, I do it this way. And that's the only thing that can be art. It can't be anything other than that. Unless it is. Shit changes. Technology changes. We are now working with technology that is like nothing we've ever seen. And people are like clinging to the way they used to do things. It's madness, but it's not. It makes perfect sense. It's just madness to me because I'm fucking excited about the new toys we get to play with. All right. What the fact? Cheese rolling, ironing, and more. Wait, what's this episode about? Cheese rolling, extreme ironing, and other particular sports. All right, cool. So this is episode 17. And then let's go back over here. We're going to change this to 512K. Don't ask me why. Hey, Brandon, we should talk to Pearson about this stupid fucking thing. They should either resize the images or let you upload large images. This is dumb. That I have to do this every time. Export as a JPEG. Desktop. Shank. Yeah. All right, there's our little image. Fantastic, Bob. Tell him what he's won. Is it going in there? Yes. Fantastic. All right, we're going to add a chapter. We're going to call that chapter Introduction. Oh, by the way, this is another thing we should provide Pearson feedback on. It should automatically write what I'm doing here. Introduction. Because what I do is I write introduction. I say, hosts introduce what the fact episode 17. Because if you don't write this, they just go right into the episode. They don't introduce it. Episode is sponsored by AI Salon. The salon.ai. All right. And then you got to drag this up, which that doesn't make any sense to me either. But anyway, like some sort of introduction should be built into this. They could just change the generations script and it would fix that. Okay. Yeah, we're at jellypod.ai. Grilled cheese sandwich. Open your minds, connect the dots. Try things that don't make sense. Make things easier. Yeah, Gareth, you're onto it, man. It's like I don't think most people quite comprehend. I was going to use the term grok, but that now means something different. I don't think people quite comprehend how different it is to have a computer that generates, right? It's generating. It's not just processing data. Computers for all of our lives, their job was to take our input, process it, and give us an output. And now they're taking that input, processing it, and generating something new. It's not just a predefined output. That feels very subtle, but it's not. It's profoundly different. All of our lives, for all of our lives, anyone that's on this call, anyone who's alive today, computers, until this generative AI era, they behaved in very predictable ways. They don't anymore. It's a big deal. It's a big fucking deal. All right, generate audio. Wait, what's the video? Oh, they're generating videos now? What are they doing? What is this, Brandon? This is new. Surprise. Brandon knows some things. Yeah, Henlin created Grok, Musk hijacked it. Exactly. Oh, you folks over on TikTok, you can't see this window's new. This. Oh, nice. Fucking genius. Okay, so you want to hear something fucking stupid? If you want another reason to hate Elon, did you see the thing today where Trump's like standing with Elon next to a Tesla going, I'm going to buy one of these. You all should too. It must be bad. Oh, man. Anyway, here's another reason to hate Elon. You cannot upload an audio file to Twitter. You can't. You can upload a picture and you can upload a video. You can't upload an audio file. I like it fucking really? So anyway, so a pain in the ass here was we had to post a link back to this thing instead of being able to download the video here. And you can pay to remove the watermark. I don't care about the watermark. I'll give them some free advertising. But let me add some music to this. Yeah, I know. I got you, Brandon. I'm with you. I've done enough of these now. What the fact? What the fact? You're all crazy. What the fact? Yeah, yeah. All right, there's that. Fantastic, Bob. Tell him what he's won. He hasn't won anything there, Kyle. It's not a game show. Seems like you should have won something. All right. Audio updated successfully or uploaded successfully. I guess it's redoing our video. It will break the preview, but will generate correctly on publish. Well, we're going to render and publish. Boom. Automatically download the video after publishing. Yes, start rendering. All right. I don't know if Pearson's watching. Pearson, if you're watching, we have some ideas for improvements, but this is a fucking winner because now I can just upload this directly to the Twitter without having to jump through fucking hoops. I like it. All right. I had a revelation today. I know Elon and the CEO of Midjourney are close friends. I think Midjourney is within Grok, and that's why the images are so good. No, it's not Midjourney. It's, well, it was Flux for a while. If they change something, it's possible it's Midjourney. But I think it must still be Flux because it's good at text. And it's also been trained on, like, you can do brands, right? You can do Mickey Mouse smoking a cigarette outside of a McDonald's. So if it is Midjourney, then it's a custom trained or like a de-guardrailed version of Midjourney. I think it's Flux though. AI is a prediction machine. It is a prediction machine. A next token prediction. Okay. So did it download my thing? Yes, episode 17. Let's go look at it.
Push play, get ready to dive into facts that'll blow your mind. We're serving truth with a side of wow.
Only to hold settle in. Cheese.
Wait, okay. Hey, Brandon, tell what's his name? Pearson. Tell Pearson. I'm such a dick. I couldn't remember his name. Tell Pearson that they should use, if I'm going to upload an episode graphic, the video should have the episode graphic in it, not the overall graphic. Right? Or if there's music, it should have the overall graphic. And then it should go to the bigger graphic, the episode graphic. Anyway, that's minor. Okay, so let's go to the X. Noted. Good day, sir. Good day. Carrying on. Rather, pip pip, cheerio. I'm in full ADD mode right now. I can feel my brain going in about 50 directions at the same time. Every office hours he talks about Elon. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So we're going to go here. We're going to go, I got to go find what is it? It's what the fact, right? Let's see. What the fact, Kyle Shannon. All right, here we go. So this is episode 17. Dang, man. We're getting up there of what the fact. Wait, let's see. Here's episode. What is it? Cheese and something else? I don't even know. I don't pay attention to it. Cheese rolling. Let's just go with cheese rolling. That's weird. Cheese rolling. All right, so we'll get rid of that. Da-da-da-da. Oh, Pearson says I found a bug. It should pull the episode images. Okay. Here's my prediction, Brandon. I think what probably broke it is when it rendered. When it rendered originally, it probably did it with the episode graphic. But then when I added music after and it re-rendered, it probably put in the overall graphic. So that's probably a pretty straightforward fix. Awesome. I love finding bugs, man. It is one of my joys in life. My tech team fucking hates me. I can find bugs within 5 minutes. They're like, okay, it's perfect. We spent 3 months building it. I'm like, why doesn't this work? They're like, well, logically, it technically should work. There's no reason why that wouldn't work. I'm like, it doesn't. Bug bounty. That's right. Just give me more credits to make more jelly pods. Where is, I guess in downloads, right?
Push play, get ready to dive.
But anyway, but please pass on to Pearson that I love this. It's really good. All right, fantastic. So do me a favor, go to Kyle Shannon. Oh, we may have an issue with I think since X has been targeted for attack, uploading videos has been really janky. So we'll see. I'm at 9%. It doesn't look like it's going back to 0, so that might be working. No, it went back to 5. This is probably going to error out. Is this an MP4 that he created? I think what's it called? X doesn't like MP4s. You can upload videos, but not audio. Isn't it fucking insane? It's insane that they don't have a native audio player in Twitter after what, 20 fucking years? It's like really? Like I said, I'm telling you, all these tech companies, they need a corner office for an angry Gen Xer that their only job is just to bitch about stupid decisions that were made. Ask questions like, you're not going to launch this, are you? What idiot came up with this? And then all the idiots are like, I feel triggered. Gen X is like, don't let him feel triggered. Just have him fix the site. Error. Oh my God. Okay, so let's try another one. Let's delete the. Now, look, it's unuploaded, but I can play it. Oh my God. It just drives me fucking crazy. It really does. Is this the mauve one? All right, let's see if the mauve one works. Honestly, most companies could use that. I know. That's what I'm saying. I have volunteered. Well, not. I have volunteered to be hired by OpenAI to sit in their corner office and just scream at them. You're going to name it what? Wait, 4.0, the O stands for Omni. And 01, it stands for something different? Really? It stands for OpenAI in this one and Omni in this one, but the Omni one isn't actually omnimodal because you didn't release that because someone's afraid of something? Really? I was that guy, and then I was part of a mass layoff. Yeah, no one's going to like this guy, but they need this guy. Images is restricted due to Spotify image res. Oh. Yeah, okay, but tell Pearson that shouldn't be on me as a user. They should take my oversized bloated images that Corey Sandler made us lovely bloated images. I should be able to upload my bloated images, and they should resize them on the back end. I shouldn't have to deal with that as a user. Like that's a good Gen X bitter piece of feedback. Don't make me do the fucking work. I understand why I need to resize the image. I also happen to be smart enough to know that there are open source little tools that will take an image and resize it. They exist. So that's what makes me bitter. I use Audacity. Did this upload or did we error? We errored again. God damn it. I like all I want to do is give the people nice things. All I want. I just want to do good for the world, but people are getting in my way. All right, we're going to do this the way we used to do it. Tell Pearson I'm sorry, but this is on Elon. It's not on Pearson. We're going to go copy the URL and we're going to upload the picture to Twitter. That's how we're going to do this. Oh, fucking makes me insane. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, la, da, down. And then I'm going to paste that in there. Look at that. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Timeout Tuesday. Your post was sent. Okay. There we go. So do me a favor. If you're watching this, I got 41 here. I got 55 over there. That's 96 people. Well, no, most of them are watching it on two screens. So let's say we've got 50 people. There's 50 people watching this right now. Go to my Twitter account at Kyle Shannon, find the What the Fact thing, and go boost it. And then I have another request for you. I want you to scroll down my profile. Oh, look, that's cool. Yes, sir.
Oh, I was just wanting to let you know that Pearson is on Discord right now, like live hackathoning the back end of JellyPod based on your suggestions.
Oh, that's awesome. Pearson's the best. I mean, I got to tell you, this guy, the CEO of JellyPod, is like super nice, super responsive. He's going to come talk to the AI Salon. The fact that he's in there hacking based on this feedback is like, that's the way you got to fucking do it. You know what? I got to tell you, Brandon, and please pass this on to Pearson, and maybe he's listening. Like when I talk about having a mad Gen Xer in the corner, what that requires is someone who's willing to say the shit, but then it also requires someone on the development side to be like Pearson and go, oh yeah, right, fuck it, we can just go fix that now. And it's like, because it's always the little noogly shit. And this is what I experience in my company. My company's 13 years old. One of the things that is my most hated statement from my dev team is we're going to put that feature in the backlog, because nothing ever comes out of the backlog. The backlog just basically is the project manager saying, hey, Kyle, go fuck yourself. We're never going to do that. Are you good with that? And I'm not good with that, but you have to prioritize shit. And they're like, do you want the thing to actually work, or do you want that button to not be stupid? And I'm like, I want both. And then they're like, well, we'll put that in the backlog and then we'll get to that at some point. I've got shit in the backlog that's been in there for 7 years. Bitter? You betcha. So the fact that he's in there doing it right there is beautiful. Like a product manager. That's totally what product managers do. They're like, yeah, Kyle, we're on it. It's right in the backlog. It's right there. We can go talk about it 3 years from now.
I feel like this is resonating with the YouTube chat. And TikTok.
Oh my God, clear your backlog. Yeah, but you know what, Gareth? Do you see my tabs? Do you see the number of tabs I have open? You think I'm going to clear my backlog? I'm a digital hoarder, I'm a tab hoarder, and I'm a backlog hoarder. And I remember that shit. It's a dying art.
Oh, and hey, if while you've got those tabs open, I think one of those tabs is my new JellyPod series. After you finish showing them good. About your
I want to show. Okay, so go to my channel, go to Kyle Shannon, scroll down, you'll see the JellyPod one, and then you see us live. There we are. Hello. Hello, people. You'll see this funny little image, and then you'll see this. I published my first article on X. I actually realized I'd published one or two before this, but I haven't really done much with articles on X. If you would be so kind, go find this article on vibe storytelling. So this was the insight I had last night on the live. Is that everyone's talking about vibe coding, and there's all different other sorts of creative outputs that you can take that same philosophical approach. And so I wrote this article on vibe storytelling. So if you'd be so kind, go find that, like it, forward it, promote it, comment on it. That would be great. Okay, and then I want to show you. So Brandon took JellyPod, and I thought this was kind of meta and kind of okay. You know what's okay? Now I'm pissed off. Now I'm officially the Gen Xer in the corner. I loved using the word Grok, but now Grok means the AI thing that's part of Twitter. And I loved using the word meta, meaning, larger than, encompassing. And that's now a company name that should still be called Facebook, because they made such a shitty metaverse that it seems stupid that they renamed their company after it. Anyway, I think it is it is lovely that Brandon used a podcast making tool to generate a podcast about making podcasts. So Brandon, you want to hop up here and talk about this? So he put together a 10 podcast series on how to do podcasts. So are you there?
Yeah. So I got this idea and actually collabed with the folks over at JellyPod. They threw me some credit so I could put this course together in conjunction with them. And it's for anybody who is intrigued by the idea of doing podcasts, but has no idea where to start. They've never thought to make a podcast, but they've got an idea. And thanks to tools like JellyPod, an idea and a small trial is all you need to get started.
$1 in a dream.
Exactly. And so we curated this, had ChatGPT do most of the programming and most of the content curation, most of the research elements, and then generated a voice and created the 10 steps to podcast mastery. So it's not a JellyPod specific podcast. So it talked about podcasting in general, but if you are new to podcasting or new to the idea of doing something like this, a project like this, it's a great listen. And I put a bonus episode. Episode 11 is how I made this podcast.
Oh, cool.
And so that generously leading.
Yeah, where you find this, if you go to the AI Salon, the Mighty Network, so aisalon.mn.co, and you join the salon, if you scroll down, there's an area called Show Off and Toolbox, and go into music and audio, and then Brandon's AI podcast mastery is the second thing down there right now. All right.
Yeah. And it's also on Pocket Casts, thanks to the RSS feed. So if you just search my name on Pocket Casts, it's there. Working on getting it up on Apple and YouTube and Spotify and stuff like that still. But have a listen to it, and we had a lot of fun making it. And for anybody who thinks, oh my gosh, this is so good, but I don't have time in my life, this entire 11-part mini-series from idea to what you're looking at on the screen took less than 3 hours on Sunday.
Yeah. And it's that gets into this the boundary between sort of vibing, right, just sort of meandering with AI, and then realizing, oh, I want to turn this into something. Like you can very, very quickly go from no concept to being inspired by something to like, oh, I could just go make that right now, is really quite remarkable. So yeah, awesome. Congrats.
Thank you.
Love it.
There's a TikTok pin for you. Bye.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Groovy. All right. Unknown Detroit. We made a backlog because our backlog got so big. That's fucking genius. And then whoever had the comment Podception that Brandon using JellyPod to make a podcast about making podcasts is Podception. Perfect. And we don't have to use the word meta. Oh, we got the comedy coming in. The backlog. Oh, it like that would be an SNL skit if there were more programmers in the world. But if you've ever put something in the backlog, you know that shit ain't coming out of it. Oh man. All right. So apparently the Irregulars have been up to some stuff. So let me go look at the Irregulars. The Irregulars channel, by the way, if you go down, if you're in the salon, go down to Clubs and Hubs. And the Irregulars is the channel for this live session. Oh, that's cute. Fish out of water here. Yeah, little rainbow trout. Those are the ones they stock, right? Sora is weird. Was self-flagellation the prompt? That's pretty funny. Oh man. What were we gonna do? I was gonna go to Lovable. All right. So I don't have a ton of time, but I'll just show you a couple of things. Excuse me. Is this? Yeah. Okay. So that's that. Let me go show you one other thing. Is this it? Generative news dashboard. Wait, where's my published stuff? Hang on a sec. Go to dashboard. My projects, latest. Oh, I think it's generative. I think this is it. Copy plus. Hydrate. We have 45 minutes. Thank you. All right. I created a bug bash tag for when people were looking for work at the end of a sprint. Yeah, that's the thing, Gareth. A good product manager will proactively dig into the backlog. We've had too many product managers that suck. If there were more programmers in the world would run much better. or the world would have. Wait, what's generative? Generative. Oh, not found. Oh, generative. Got it. Da, 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 da. Okay, let's see if this thing still functions. If it does, it'll be a miracle. Okay, so what you're looking at here, this was the first app that I published out of Lovable. So I'm at lovable.dev, lovable.dev, and then you can just talk apps into existence. Now they're web apps, so some of the other coding tools like Cursor and Bolt and Replit, they can do other kinds of coding. Lovable's just doing web apps, but most of what we use these days is some version of a web app. So you can do very, very sophisticated stuff with just web apps. So this was a thing that I created called the AI Salon Newsomatic. It's got 15 RSS feeds that it draws from. It goes out and grabs news sources, categorizes them into 6 categories. If you click on any one of these tabs, it filters the list below. It's got some cool scrolling effects, like this scrolls underneath that other thing. I didn't touch a line of code to build this. If I click on any one of these panels, it gives me the summary. If I click on the title of the news article, it takes me to that news article. Like, this is a real, actual, usable site. Now, how you find this, if you're in the AI Salon, if you go to, on the left-hand side, you go to our news area where it says latest news, AI news, and then the Salon Newsomatic is a little tab there, and you can actually, that'll jump you over, and you can go grab that site. It's pretty cool. That took me about 2 hours, okay? So my current thing is another news site, and I don't know why I'm doing news sites. I think it's because I'm not really a programmer. I'm not constantly thinking about app ideas. But this is one that I thought was cool. And the basic premise of this, so what you're looking at here, and this one is, if you go to theangle.lovable.app, if you can pop that up on screen, Brandon, theangle.lovable.app. So this is a concept for a news site called The Angle. And the concept is one story, 6 points of view. And so what I've got is, for the article in the center, over here on the right-hand side are 6 different personas that represent kind of the spectrum of that section. This is politics. So we've got a progressive reformer, a liberal pragmatist, we've got a centrist moderator, we've got a conservative traditionalist, we've got a populist firebrand, and we've got a libertarian individualist. And then for each article, the personas rank it. Do I strongly agree or strongly disagree? And then they comment on it, and you can expand these and you can roll over these, and it teaches you about that, who that person is. So it's a cool concept, but at this point, it's just fake data. And I sort of put it out in the world as a prototype and said, hey, does anyone think this is cool? I had one guy go, don't do it. It's been done before. Fucking curmudgeon. There's always someone who will shit on your idea, you know? And just because it's been done before doesn't mean it's good. Lovable is for drinking. theangle.lovable.app. So anyway, so you can go play with it, and you can click through, you can, sort by different categories. You can resort, it starts with agreeable at the top, but you can flip that so it's disagreeable at the top. So it's a cool, pretty sophisticated app. Now, it's got some problems. Like if you open it on mobile, it's shitty. The main article disappears, and you end up with this view. That view, which is not usable because the main article's gone, and you can sort of scroll and see what the people are saying about it. But so that's something we need to fix. And then also, it's not doing real retrieval, and it's not doing real commentary generation. So that's the thing that we're going to work on. And let me go back out to my dashboard, and I will pick that project. And so I've been working on it, so it's not going to look quite like what I just showed you. All right. So here's one of the frustrating things that happened. So I told it to go out and get real news stories, which I'm not quite sure if it does yet. Let's see. Source Camp. I made a lovable app today. Once it was done, it was awesome, but getting there was madness. I know. I loved your TikTok on the angle. Oh, cool. Thank you. I appreciate that, Cam. Facebook's been done before too. It was called MySpace. Exactly. So anyway, and also I figure if I do these personas right, like right now they're just stupid little cards, but you could get really creative with those, and you could also quite honestly, you could have them all have really interesting image personas, and then you could even use synthesized voice for them and have them comment on the story, right? And you could just, instead of rolling over them and seeing about their bio, you could roll over them and it would just start talking about the article. That would be super cool, right? So I think I might play around with just dicking around with this thing over a series of days, and not always on here, but maybe sometimes on here, and see if I can get something that's more sophisticated. Brandon, I want to give it an article to analyze. It doesn't analyze them yet. Like right now, it's just a clickable prototype. So that's what we need to do. All right. So what I asked it, I said, okay, let's start with. Well, all right. What do I want to show you? Let me show you one other thing. I'm going to hop over to Chat GPT. We'll start a new chat, and then Hedra AI content creation. Hang on. Let's see. Let's see. JSON. Wait, what instead of an RSS feed? Oh, an API?
I'm just going to come up because it's easier than trying
Yeah.
to. What I was saying, I'm with Source Camp. I love the angle. I think it's a really great concept. I was saying, in addition to the RSS feed, I would like to be able to just feed it an article and have it pull the different perspectives.
Yeah.
Give it my own URL. That's all.
Yeah. That's really good. So one thing I wanted to show is this big long ChatGPT chat that I had. So before I went to Lovable, and this is, vibe coding the way I'm thinking about it is in its purest form is you go in without an idea, but I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think you might go in intentionally and say, hey, I want to do a thing. But I used ChatGPT, their reasoning models, to really help me think about this. So what I did was I said, I want you to serve as a strategist for an app I want to design. It pulls popular news feeds from RSS or public. And then I want it to create an interface that takes multiple points of view in the form of personas, perhaps far left, neutral, lean right, far right, or ideally something more sophisticated, right? So I kind of explained what I wanted. And then, it gave me feedback on it. And then it generated some characters. And then I asked it about how could personas appear in the app? Like, what kind of interface should it be? And I had two ideas, and I said, give me your feedback on those two ideas. One was the 3-column thing. One was like news story in the middle with like a circle of personas around it. And then I had it come up with an idea. YouTube comment. The analyze features in the backlog. Exactly. Well, I'll tell you what, you know what's funny, Gareth, is when you're working with a tool like Lovable, one of the things I find myself doing is, okay, in any given application, you've got major shit and you've got minor shit, right? But as a bitter Gen Xer, it's the minor shit that drives me fucking batty. So I'll be like working on something like, let's get the APIs set up. And then, it fails a time or two. And then I'll notice that like the roundness of the button is like too tight and I want it more round. So I'll spend like a fucking hour trying to dial in the interface in the middle of trying to work on the API thing. And, then I just get frustrated because I just keep going in circles and it keeps fucking up the application because I wanted to fix a corner radius, which now with Lovable, you can actually just go fix interface elements. So that's nice. But that's one of the challenges with these tools is you can just keep running down rabbit holes and fucking up your app. Anyway, okay. So I had it give me analysis on interface and make a recommendation, like 3-column news views, quadrant map and persona bar. Like I kind of like the idea of a quadrant map. The idea with the quadrant map was you have the article and then on some sort of quadrant map, you sort of put, where in the spectrum is this article? Is it left leaning, right leaning? Is it like conspiratorial or factual or something like, I don't know, or opinion or factual, whatever it might be. And I kind of bailed on that because I didn't quite know, like, like there's even bias in how you set up a quadrant like that and then how you analyze this. So I didn't want to do that because it just felt like, I don't know, it felt like that would be part of the problem rather than the solution. Story spotlight with rotating persona carousel. So then it gave me a recommendation. Then I had it come up with story ranking. Like, what's the story ranking framework? Like, how do we choose stories to put in the site? It had it do that. Then I had it write all the personas. And then today, when I was thinking about going back into it, today I came back into this chat. And so I basically, I had this big, long conversation with it. And then at the end of that, I said, write me up a software spec that doesn't include, like, don't tell me what software to use, things like that. Just give me the basic description of the app. And so I copied and pasted that into Lovable. So how I started the Lovable thing was with an output from ChatGPT after a pretty long conversation. Then today I came back into it and I thought, like, one of the things I've been thinking about is, because a lot of the questions I've been getting when I put this thing out to the world are like, well, how did you decide who the personas were? And how did you decide how they're commenting on the articles and what are the decisions and things like that? So I don't really give too much of a shit about mechanically how it's done, but I do want to understand it, and I want it to be consistent across the site. Like, I don't want it to be different per persona. I want it to be a framework, right? And so I came in today. This is a long chat. There was a lot of stuff in here. Yeah, this was one of the things I realized was that each different section of the news should have a different set of personas, right? Because if you're in politics, you're going to have leans right, leans left, that sort of thing. But what if you're in the sports section? Well, you should probably have like a franchise guy and a you know, I don't know, someone who just, you know, likes sports or whatever, you know, casual fan, whatever. So it came up with all those. And then today I wanted it to come up with like a data schema, right? So for each persona, like I want to create what's the JSON, what's the data schema for all of the elements we want to know about the personas, because if we have that set up, then it's going to make it easy to put that in a document or ask ChatGPT, hey, here's the basic schema. Give me 6 new personas, or, you know, make these personas more detailed, but follow the basic schema. And then we can go in and swap that in and out in the application, right? And so it did that pretty good. And I got about halfway through that, and then I got a little bored with it. Or no, I didn't get bored with it. I was actually at work running my company. I had to go do, you know, paid work for my company. Okay. So, and then I came over here. And so the first thing I did was, rather than deal with the personas, I thought, let me just take major elements at a time. So we were not pulling real news stories. So the first thing I said is, I want to switch from fake data to actually pulling the news stories from actual sources. And it fucked up. So when you switch categories, it changes the color for that category, which is cool. So here's politics, you know, here's tech, here's sports, but there's an all category. And if you click the all category, it used to display multiple cards, but now when you pick the all category, it filters it to lifestyle and culture. Now here's another thing. Okay. This is probably a relatively straightforward indexing problem where it's just cross-mapped all categories with lifestyle and something. Like, there's probably an ID number that is just wrong, that if I knew anything about code, I would know where to go look for that. I don't. And I don't particularly give a shit about learning code well enough to go fix that myself. So this is probably a problem that if you knew something about code, in 10 minutes you could go find it and fix it. But if you don't know something about code, again, my job here is to be the town fool, to be the idiot, so you don't have to. Or to at least validate that when you're like, it should just fucking fix this, I will be that madness for you. I will be that rage. So I have now tried to fix this 3 or 4 times. So it's recommending that I refactor some code. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Have you copied and pasted all of your code into GPT to fix it? No, I haven't, because I haven't, quite frankly, even looked at all the code. Waiting for the sandbox. Like, here's all the code. Like, look at it all. It's, yeah. I mean, I could go look at shit, but I'm trying to be vibe coding here, man. I'm trying to be like, dude, man, I'm as much of a pain in the ass with Lovable as I am to my developers, which is, they're like, well, what are the acceptance criteria for this application? And I'm like, the acceptance criteria are that it should fucking work. Oh, I'm such an asshole. Okay. It's a lot of work, but it works for me. Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea. Okay. So I have now told it 3 times that when I select all categories, it's showing me lifestyle and culture, and it says it fixes it, and then it doesn't. So let's go try it again. Hey, you have told me you fixed the filtering issue with all categories, but it's still only displaying lifestyle articles and colors. Try something new. and you know, how you talk to these things is just like how you would talk to a programming team, except with the programming team, it'd be days in between your ability to comment on shit. Oh my God, I've wanted to say that to my devs hundreds of times. Do we need acceptance criteria of it will work? Gareth, you'll appreciate this. I've said this on the channel before. I don't know if you've heard me say it, but the company that does our tech development right now, when we first started working with them, our site did something, and I wanted the ability to turn that something off, right? I wanted, the toggle to be able to turn it off, whatever the thing it was that it was doing, displaying something or whatever. And so, it takes them 3 weeks. They build it, and they're like, okay, you can go test it now. I'm like, great. So I log into the site, and there's the button that I asked for, and I push it, and it correctly, undoes whatever the thing that it was doing. And then I go to like redo it. I'm like, I go to turn it back on, and I can't. And I can't. I could turn it off, but I couldn't turn it back on. And so on the next call, I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Like I could turn it. How do I turn it back on? And they're like, oh, well, you didn't specify that. You didn't specify. I'm like, I asked for a light switch. I asked to be able to turn off the light switch. Is it not implied that you can turn it back on? I'm like, fucking engineers just think different than I think. All right. It looks like it fixed our thing, but now, we've got, this is a bug related to infinite scroll. Okay, great. So at least we know what's going on now. Okay. Looks like you fixed it, but the infinite scroll seems, I don't think infinite scroll is even the right term, but whatever. It knows what I'm talking about. Seems to be buggy, and how would you describe this? And is caught in a loop. Caught in a loop. All right, let's see if it'll fix that. And by the way, if you haven't tried Lovable, like at this point, I'm talking about an app that sort of exists, but to create a new thing, you can literally just go in and say, I want an application that does blank X, Y, and Z, whatever it might be. And it will first, the first thing that it does is it'll put together a little plan, and it says, I'm thinking about doing this. Do you like that plan? And you can tell it. Pearson can't help me now. Well, he's working on his own thing. I got to tell you, I'm super impressed by Pearson that he's just in there fucking hacking the back end, trying to fix shit. I love that. That's such a cool thing. All right. Did it fix it? It looks like it did something. Here, let me reload the page. That's crazy. Common sense always isn't apparent. My Aaron Sugarman, the guy that was president of North America when I was doing agency.com, I had a similar kind of problem, and I went into his office and I closed the door, and I'm like, how are they fucking this up this bad, Aaron? I'm like, it's common sense. And he was really a calm dude, really zen. He just looked up at me and he went, Kyle, common sense isn't common. I was like, fuck. It's so true. Okay. Let's go here. Still broken. I think what I might do here is let's see if it fixes it this time. I'll debug the infinite scroll issue more thoroughly. I'll look at the console logs. I can see there's an issue with the infinite scroll being triggered, but then skipping loading due to some state conflicts. Yeah, this is state management issues for sure. Pearson hacking the back end means 200 bugs tomorrow. Absolutely it does. But you know what? I mean, seriously, I think I would rather, well, in fact, I've got, we had a team of like 3 different engineers that were not getting shit done for like a year. They just couldn't get anything done. And so I kind of lost my shit with the dev company. And I said, give me someone who can fucking do something. And I don't know if I said it quite that rude, but I was pretty pissed. We were over there. They're in Prague, Prague is beautiful. So they gave us this rock star developer, and he and I got on great because he would just go build shit. I'd say, oh, here's this idea, and he would go build it. And he built this really amazing prototype of this AI product. And we've been trying to incorporate what he built into our platform for like 5 months now. It's so painful because they're like, back to acceptance criteria. They're like, well, what do you want it to behave like? I'm like, I want it to behave like the thing you built. You built the thing. You have a reference application that I'm happy with. I want it to be that good or better. Like, here it is. And then I go in there. I'm like, why is this not here? Oh, well, that did you want that? I'm like, it's here. Yes, I did. See how this works? This is what I'm happy with. See how this looks like shit? Not happy. Oh my God. So yeah, I think I would rather have buggy software and get shit done than not. Okay, this thing is all fucked up. I'm going to say remove infinite scroll for now, since we are limiting each section to 4 stories initially. So this was one of the things that I talked with ChatGPT about. So the way this site's going to work, it's going to go fetch news stories. It's then going to take those news stories and pick the 6 personas and then do a prompt per persona about the news story, right? So that it's got to create their response and their ranking. And so I thought, if you're going to do that in real time, the site's going to be really slow, right? Because you got to pick the article, and then you've got to send out these prompts for each of these people. So I thought, why not, like on a regular basis, like every 4 hours or whatever the thing is, go get some news stories and then pre-populate all of the persona responses, so the site's really fast with like 4 stories per category. And then the user can ask for, either, as Brandon suggested, go grab me this specific article, or go get me more articles in these categories. And then you have some sort of way of indicating that they're thinking about it, right? Maybe you do animations of them going, I'm reading. Oh yeah. So the reason I came back in here and started working on this, one is I think this is kind of a fun idea, and this is a site that I would love to be able to use. But Lovable today just announced they're having a contest. It's a collaboration between Lovable, Anthropic, and Supabase. So Supabase is incorporated into Lovable. Like up here, if you click on the Supabase icon, you can set up projects, and so I can have a database backend for this, and users and stuff like that, and I can use Supabase. So cool, that's great. And then I can use Anthropic as the API. And if they select your app, then I don't know what you win. Probably they'll tweet about it. So I don't know if there's money there, but I thought, wouldn't it be nice to just, let's make this thing work and then go do it. Oh, look, it took out my infinite scroll, and now I don't have the state management fucking nightmare. Except this is weird. This article is not in this list. Fucking assholes. Comedian. Okay, these work. So what happens if I'm here? Oh, I see what I see what's broken about it. Okay. It looks like you are limiting the all categories view to a hard limit of 4 articles. That's not right. It should be a complete list of all articles in order of importance ranking. All right, let's see what it does with that. It wasn't in the acceptance criteria that it had to be in the list. Lovable hackathon. Yep. Could you use microservices? Possibly. I only know enough about microservices to know that they're cool, and we use them. We use them in the Storyvine application a fair amount. One of the things that I was thinking about doing here, and Lovable seems decently smart about services and reuse of stuff, but one of the things that I was thinking about doing is I think one of the things that we run the risk of is that this is going to treat different, because different news categories have different personas, that it might start treating persona ranking and how they comment different per section. And so what I was thinking about doing was having Lovable create a single like an application object that is a news category, but I don't know. Like, I don't know enough about it. I know conceptually enough about it, but I don't know. This is one of the fascinating things about vibe coding, particularly for people that like me. I know enough to get me in trouble. There's a guy named HT Snowday that I used to work with, and he put together a contest in his company, and the contest was to use AI to build a game. And that people had half an hour to do it, and there were like 40 people in the room, And the only people that did not succeed in making a game were the engineers. Because the engineers had the burden of knowing how games are made. So they ask things like, okay, I need a particle system with a gravitational pull where the objects emerge from the top of the screen and are drawn to the bottom of the screen with, right? They're describing the functionality. And the people that didn't know anything about programming were like, I need a game where shit falls from the sky and I have to catch it. And AI was able to build that. So I feel like there's a similar sort of thing here where I feel like too much coding knowledge with these tools runs the very real risk of fucking things up as much as not knowing enough. Pate Pin. So what's the situation if your site becomes successful? Is it just crazy expensive? Probably, Pate. Well, so it's a great question. So one of the things that when I built this app, no, not this one. When I built the other app, the news one, this one, Newsomatic, it initially specified like an AP Newswire API. And I was like, wait a minute, does that cost money? And it was like, yes, it does. And I'm like, no. Go get me RSS feeds. So yeah. So I like if this became, I think what I'll do is I'll come up with whatever the base concept of this thing is. I'll do it with like RSS feeds or free APIs. I'll do it with one of the cheap large language model things. I think if I do it as this hard-coded thing where it's only running the queries against the personas once every 4 hours, I can kind of limit that artificially. And then if it becomes popular and people are like, well, we want this to be dynamic and then either I sell it or I'll shuffle it off to someone else to develop it, that actually knows what they're doing. So it's a great question though. All right, so look, it actually fixed our thing. We've got a bunch of different stories here. Now it also looks like it wrote. Okay, all right. So that's good enough for now. So it says it got these things just now. Innovative, sustainable. So let me ask it something. TikTok pin. I'm a toddler in a self-driving car without a map. We'll get there. This is really good. Hey.me. This is really good. This is a good metaphor. Hang on. I'm trying to expand your little talk bubble. But I don't know where we're going. Yeah, that's exactly. I don't know if you were here earlier, Hey Me, but I was talking about, I feel like we're all fish that were raised in a concrete tank. And then they scooped us up and put us in a truck and drove us to a river and threw us into a river. It's still water. We're still swimming, but it is a completely different environment. Like we are in no way prepared to deal with all this shit. So, all right. Oh, and by the way, it's really true. Yeah, the salon. So hey.me, go to the salon.ai, scroll down a little bit, click on the link that says join our community. So the AI Salon is a community of about 3,000 people that are AI optimists who are all trying to figure this shit out. Here's what makes the salon different. There are lots and lots and lots of AI communities. A lot of them focus on the technology of AI, right? What are the weights and what are the models and what are the open source and what all the shit that AI has been for 30, 40, 50 years is how do we build these tools to be good, right? The AI Salon was founded the week after ChatGPT launched. I'm looking at the launch of ChatGPT, November 30th, 2022, as the beginning of a new era where AI and machine learning has been democratized to the 98.5% of us that are not engineers and researchers. We're just people trying to use this shit. We're trying to figure out, what does this mean for my job? What does this mean for my life? Can I write a musical if I already wanted to write one? Yeah, you can. Right? Like what it means is remarkable. But it is literally, we're not a fish out of water. We're a fish in very different water, right? And so that's what the salon's all about. So go join the salon, and there's a little like 7-step welcome process. Step 2 is introduce yourself. Be generous about how you introduce yourself. Use your real name. Go in there and say, here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm excited. I'm scared. I'm whatever. And it is a remarkably powerful community because it's full of people that are generous and smart and curious and fun and playful. And it takes a lot of the pressure off having to learn AI. All right. Follow-up pin. Oh, okay. I'm going. And no, I'm product, play, creative, big picture. Yeah. So you're going to be great at AI. I'm describing AI as a couple of things. The era is revenge of the liberal arts major. I think people that have broad perspectives are going to be superstars in a generative AI world. I think people that are too narrowly focused are going to struggle unless they can kind of come up, get their head above water and look across. They call it a T-shaped personality, where you're really good at one thing, but you also have perspective across disciplines. I think those are going to be like unicorns, people that can do the horizontal thing really well, but then go deep in a particular area. But you're right, Kyle, not knowing coding is the bumblebee that doesn't know he can't fly. Yeah. I'm niche as fuck and don't know anything about AI. yeah. Pate doesn't know anything about AI and is working on making the machines that make AI more efficient and make AI better, which is pretty cool. Okay, let me get back to this for a second, and then we'll kind of stop for tonight. I just want to get it to fix this article in the middle, because right now it's like we've got a short little description here, and then that's the only thing I've got here. There's no fucking article, right? I can click out to read the full article. Latest entertainment story news for. Yeah, this is not even pulling real news yet. So wait, let's go tell it that. Maybe that's what we need to fix first. It looks like we still have lots of fake data in the news feed. I thought our goal was to go get real news. What up? Question mark. And by the way, when you're able to just talk to these things with voice and you can just sit back, and I could probably set it up right now, some version of this. I'm going to totally talk to these things like, no, no loser, you'll fix it. YouTube, John Harris, damn it, Kyle, I'm still stuck on Lovable. Now I'm going to have another subscription. I know. I know. I got a note from Dr. J today. She said, I went to Lovable and I gave it an app idea, and now I have an app. It built me an app. This is so cool. This is pretty seriously cool stuff. Why is this hung? Did I hang it? I think I hung it. I confused it. Hello. Reload that. Copy, reload. John Harris, I have a new app. I get sucked in every time I watch. Yes. Well, listen, here's the whole point of this channel is none of us, I don't care how fucking smart you are. I don't care how experienced you are. I don't care if you fucking invented AI. None of us know what is really possible with these tools. And you can't experience it until you experience it, which I know sounds like a yogiism, a Yogi Berra kind of thing. You can't experience it until you experience it. It's impossible for someone to tell you what AI is and what it makes possible because it's so vast. The whole purpose of this channel is just to be in the conversation enough to go like, let me give it a shot. He seems excited about it. Fuck it. And then you go there and you're like, oh my God, I had no idea. That's the whole point of the channel, is just play. Do shit that you think you would not be interested in. Do shit that you think that you know. Do shit that you are absolutely convinced you have no right to ever do. Let's say you're not technical, and the last thing you could have ever imagined in your life that you would write a software application. Go fucking write a software application. It will blow your fucking mind, and what it will do is it will reveal to you, oh shit, every single limitation that I thought I had is about to be obliterated. And then what do you do with that information? I don't know. You start asking yourself questions like, well, what do I want to do in the world? How do I want to impact people? Because my dream when I was 7 was to blank. And then stepdaddy told me I wasn't talented. And I shut that down, and I got my law degree, and I've been in a law practice forever. But my dream was always that. Well, go back to that. Right? Like that's what we all have the opportunity to do here. So, all right. Hey, me. My mind blown. We are fucked. Haha. So I don't think, well, okay. I think that sentiment. Okay. Let me show you one thing. Brandon, if you could put the screen back up. I want to show something on the AI Salon. So when you get to the AI Salon, there's a welcome video by myself and my co-founder, Leah. And then we talk about this journey to AI readiness, which is play first, mindfully create, generously lead. But then right below that, there's this little mini article. So I stumbled upon this epiphany on a live about a month ago. And what hit me was we are all going through or are going to go through something akin to the 5 stages of grief, but it's with AI. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's definitely some stages. And so I worked with ChatGPT, live on the channel to really look at how is adopting AI on a personal basis, similar to the 5 stages of grief. And so I actually mapped it to the 5 stages of grief. And what it created is fucking brilliant. So the first stage is dismissal or denial. Oh, it hallucinates. It's just a prediction engine. It's just a stochastic parrot. It can't be, it can't be original because it's just been trained on stuff. It's the world's greatest plagiarism machine. All of that bullshit is people living in fear, dismissing it because they're afraid of it. And listen, it from the outside, AI is way fucking more terrifying. Way more. So that's stage 1. And I think there's a lot of people in that. I think there's even people in that stage who have tried ChatGPT and maybe it didn't give them what they wanted. And so they're like, I've got time. It's a piece of shit. I'm good. Call me when it's decent. Right? Stage 2 is the one. Stage 2 is kind of the red pill, blue pill moment where once it happens, thank you so much. Who gave me that? Bunny, thank you so much. That's very generous and appreciative. Stage 2 is what I call the Kevin McAllister moment. So if you remember Home Alone, that moment. Stage 2 is AI does something that you know personally, and it's so good at it that you're like your jaw literally drops open and you can't unsee it. You can't unknow. You're like, well, I'm a copywriter, but it's not good at creative writing. And then you put a prompt in there and all of a sudden you see, oh shit, it is good at creative writing. Or, it can do a project plan, or it can make a backlog of the backlog. And you go, holy shit. So that's stage 2 is just this awe of like, I had no idea. I had a call with a guy once where he said, oh yeah, I use ChatGPT all the time. And then I got on the call and I showed him 2 or 3 things and his jaw dropped open and he said, Kyle, I have to go. I don't know how to process this. He goes, I had no idea that that's what this was. And he hung up, he left the call. Right? So stage 2 is that moment where you realize personally something is different. Stage 3 is what you just described, Haymi, is, oh my God, this is incredible, and holy shit, we're fucked, right? It is this duality of wonder and fear. And I think I find myself right now flipping between stage 3 and stage 4. The wonder and fear thing is absolutely true. The more you use these tools, the more I tend to lean toward wonder than fear, because you fear things you don't understand. Stage 4 is a really powerful one, and it's this statement: AI isn't replacing me, it's extending me, or it's amplifying me. That's a really powerful one. That's where you realize, oh shit, I'm lucky enough to live at a time where I can take this tool that can take my idea and amplify it and put it into the world more quickly and more powerfully. That's incredibly empowering. And then the 5th stage, I don't think the technology is quite here yet, but this is a phrase that I stole from David Shapiro, cognitive hyperabundance, that you realize that you are the bottleneck to your own ambitions. And stage 5 is where you give up the ego part of that and say, fuck it. These machines are way more capable than me. I'm going to let AI take the wheel, right? And you kind of give over to it and see what happens, right? And cognitive hyperabundance is like, imagine if you had 1,000 PhD level employees that worked for you. What would you do? That's that stage. I don't think the tech's there right now, but I think that's where we're headed. And I think that's a real letting go of human hubris to think that we have to be the center of the execution. So anyway, I just wanted to share that because I think that wonder and fear stage 3 is a really important one. Okay. Whew. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Let me wrap up a couple of things. Tomorrow's Wednesday. So tomorrow at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, Ann Murphy and I are doing our 3rd episode of the AI Readiness Project. I think you're here, Ann. Hi, Ann. If you haven't joined us, it's going to be streaming live on the AI Salon channel. It's going to be streaming live on She Leads AI, which is Ann's community. It's streaming live on my Twitter, my LinkedIn, I think on Ann's LinkedIn. Okay. Couple other requests. If you're on YouTube, well, actually, even if you're not on YouTube, go to the YouTube channel, Learning Lab AI, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you want to support the channel directly, there are 2 different paid memberships. If you want to support it, that would be really appreciated. If not, absolutely cool too. And go do that. And all of the recordings of my TikTok lives and these lives since I've been streaming to YouTube are all there. So you can go back if you really dig listening to my dog sing and me act like an idiot. You can. There are, I think at this point we're probably at about 700 or 800 hours of programming. So have at it. Ann Pin. All right, Ann Murphy. It's going to be so good. Adnan. Wait, I forget. I don't know how to say his last name. Effector. Our guest. He was a fan favorite. He's amazing. So Adnan, incredibly brilliant guy with like off the charts EQ, emotional intelligence. He's so smart, but he's so connected as a human being that he's using this AI stuff in really powerful ways. So join us. The whole purpose of the AI Readiness Project podcast is to not talk about the technology. we did so this was inspired out of, we did AI Festivus back in December, where we had 34 different speakers come in, and 34 different speakers, none of them talked about technology. They all talked about what AI meant to them as people, and then they would demonstrate technology, but it wasn't about the technology. It was about them as people. And so that's the whole point of the podcast is, what does this stuff mean? What is the future of work? Are you feeling like, holy fuck, we're screwed? Or are you feeling like, oh my God, this is going to change everything for me, and this is going to be the best thing ever? Like all of us, you're probably somewhere in between, but that's what we're exploring. And it changes on a week-by-week basis also. So anyway, so I'm excited. All right, that's it. I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you tomorrow. So 4 o'clock, I'll be live with Ann for that. And then 8 o'clock, I'll be back here doing this nonsense. And maybe we'll dig around more with Lovable. I'll see if I can get that app any further than it is. All right. Da-da-da-da-da. Matt says hi to Ann and Kyle. Hello. Britt says bye. Goodbye, Britt. All right. YouTube, I'm going to peace out on you guys, and Twitter and LinkedIn. Peace out. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Boom. All right.